Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of my in-depth review of the new Tyranids Codex. As always, my name is Jay, and in this video I will be going over the elite slot of this amazing, not amazing at all, Codex. So by the way, a couple things that you may have brought. I don't even know who wrote the Codex. It doesn't say. Maybe because no one wants credit for it, because it's so bad. But we're now at the elite slot. Now, any of you who knew the old Codex for Tyranids, the elite slot was the most bloated slot in the entire edition, because basically that's where all the goodness in the Tyranids Codex was the elite slot. You had a lot of choice. You had the Duma Malantai, which was everyone's favorite. He was awesome in a spore pod. You had the Hive Guard, great at shooting. They could shoot things they couldn't see. Zoanthropes, psychic shooting, awesome. Some people like to fool around with Lictors or Death Leapers or Venomthropes were awesome for giving cover, and you kind of use them to synergize, and you kept them close to your important things. That way you had a mobile cover safe. And yeah, and then there's the Pyrovore as well. But the Pyrovore wasn't really everyone's favorite, or really anyone's favorite. And then there were the Imgarl Gene Stealers, which were cool because they could assault the turn they come in, unlike the other Gene Stealers, which suck. So yeah, and to fix that, GW kind of just screwed over the elite slot of the army. So we're going to go over the elite slot now. Now I do agree. Now there's one thing I didn't bring up in previous videos. The only thing I think is kind of interesting about this new codex is there's monster creatures in every slot of the thing, of the force organization. That's kind of cool. You could have an entire Nidzilla list. Only problem though is if you run against, you know, I don't know, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, Eldar, Tau, Grav Guns, you're toast. Demons, anything with a force weapon. It'd be interesting. I might try it out. So yeah. So now, what big changes have they made to the elite slot in this edition? Number 1, no more Duma Malantai. That sucks. He was my favorite model. He was fun. He was powerful. He was fun. No more Doom. That sucks. Number 2, Death Leapers moved to HQ, so he's out of the slot too. Yeah. Imgarls, gone. So no more Imgarls. No more Doom. Yeah. So we'll start off with Hive Guard. Now Hive Guard have actually gone up in cost. I don't know why, but they went up in cost. Another 55 points each instead of 50. You can have a squad of 1, but you can include up to 2 additional ones for 55 points each. And now they have a new gun. Not only Impaler Cannon, they have a Shock Cannon. So we'll go to them and see what's up with the new Hive Guard. So Hive Guard. Let's see, sorry. The Shock Cannon is, yes, so here we go. We'll find the Shock Cannon. So they have the Impaler Cannon and the Shock Cannon. So let's find them and look at the Impaler Cannon and the Shock Cannon. I'm stalling with my voice. And there's a difference of 10 points. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. It's Biomorph Upgrades. Here we go. So Impaler Cannon, let's see if it's changed at all. I don't think it has. The Impaler Cannon. Nope, so Assault 2, homing, Strength 8, AP4, ignores cover, fire at a line of sight. Shock Cannon, though, is Strength 5, AP5, Assault 1, Blast, Haywire. I don't know why you'd take that instead of the Impaler Cannon. The Impaler Cannon has a longer range, higher strength, can be fired at things in a line of sight. I don't care about the Haywire. I really don't. Because the odds are an Impaler Cannon should be able to glance or pen, something that the Shock Cannon wouldn't be able to. And it's only a blast. No, that's not very impressive to me. Not at all. Maybe there's a reason I can't think of, but for 5 points, or it's 5 points, I wouldn't think about it. Why would you take Shock and Sacks? Why would you take upgrades? So basically, Hive Guard are just as useful in the same areas they were before. I don't think Shock Cannons are worth it. 5-point nerf, Yeah. Next is a Lictor Brood. Lictors, same pretty much stat line as before. 5+ save. They have a bunch of rules, but they're pretty much the same rules as before. Let's look them up. Lictors, Lictor. I like saying the word Lictor. Lictor. What happened? I licked her. No, kidding. That's rude. Lictors. They don't scatter when arriving from deep strike. They're very bulky. Also a bit of the way people, for some reason they decided to put in very bulky in this codex. I don't know why, because they don't have access to a spore pod anymore. Pheromone Trail. Same as before. So that's it. Yeah, they have a few special rules. Deep strike, fear, fleet, hit and run, infiltrate, instinctive behavior, lurk, move through cover, pheromone trail, stealth, but very bulky. Up next, Zoanthropes. Zoanthropes are a brotherhood of psychers. Doesn't give them a value for their level of psyker, which is kind of weird. But Zoanthrope Brood always knows the Warp Blast psychic power, can also generate 1 additional psychic power from the powers of the mind. But they're going to, of course, use the Lance Warp Blast coolness. They're 50 points now. I believe they were 60 points before, so 10-point decrease per model. That's good. The only problem, though, is now you can't put them in a drop pod like you could before. So getting them to your opponent is going to be really hard, really aggravating, and painful. Besides that, they're the same. They have a 3+ invols. They do, despite the fact they have a 5+ armor save. They have a 3+ invol. And yeah. Cool. Psychic Brood, Zoanthrope Brood follows all the rules for Brother of Psychers, except that the unit has a mastery level of 2. Oh, that's what it was. In addition, if a brood of Zoanthropes uses the Warp Blast power, the number of shots fired is equal to the number of Zoanthropes in that brood. That's good. That's at least decent. So if it's 3 Zoanthropes in the brood, it gets 3 shots. That's good. So that's cool. And, oh, that's nice. There's a little blurb in the Zoanthropes about the Doom of Malantai. Just to rub a little bit of salt on that wound. A little bit of salt. Yeah, we took him out, but don't worry, we mentioned him in the Codex. Silly monkeys. Up next is Venomthropes. Venomthropes are basically the same as before. Yeah. They create Shrouded. So that's cool. Anything within 6 inches of it, but there's no more penalty to assaulting something close to them, so technically that is a slight nerf. They got minimally changed in points. They went from 55 down to 45, so 10-point decrease. And besides that, they're basically identical with their 5+ cover save. They produce cover. Or do they have an invol? No, 5+ armor. Yeah. They have Toxic Miasma, which is page 67. Let's see it. Toxic Miasma. Once per game, in the assault phase, the unit has biomorph can unleash Toxic Miasma. If it does so, at the initiative step 1 step, all enemies that you engage in combat suffer a number of hits equal to the number of models. Result at strength 3, AP minus, and have the poison ignores cover special rules. Really not too impressed by that. Up next, we have the new elites. One of the new elites, the Harrow Specs, which, look at this. There will be an unboxing of the Harrow Specs. I don't know which one I'm going to use, the Harrow Specs or the Exocrine. I like the Exocrine. I think the Harrow Specs looks a little bit too, I don't know, chaosy for my opinion, but so we'll turn to the page for the Harrow Specs because he's new, and so he's probably going to be pretty good because he's under the feeder organisms. So he's kind of like a pyrovore on steroids. So he's a monstrous creature. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 7, 3+ save. He's a monstrous creature, of course. He has grasping tongue, acid blood, crushing claws. Let's look up grasping tongue quickly and see what it does. Grasping tongue. So 12-inch range, strength 6, AP 2, assault 1, gulp. Gulp, a hit to hit roll of 6 is a precision shot. Okay? He's a feeder beast and inflicts at least 1 unsaved wound in the assault phase. Then at the end of that phase, it recovers a single wound lost earlier in the battle. Cool. Only has 5 wounds, not bad. A rapacious hunger in the turn in which the Harrow Specs charges any unsaved wound that inflicts in close combat immediately allows to make 1 additional attack. Every unsaved wound, so it becomes kind of like a Furiosa Dreadnought, but I'd still prefer Old One-Eye because that's just hits. These bonus attacks cannot generate any further attacks. Wounds that inflict instant death only generate 1 bonus attack. Okay. Note these wounds caused by Hammer Wrath, Acid Blood, or Tail Biomorph do not benefit from this rule. So that's interesting. And he is 160 points. Interesting. He can only access the Biomorphs list, so middle priced monstrous creature, eat things, kind of cool. And now Pyrovore Brood, and Pyrovores went down from 45 to 40 points. And they did Flame Spurt. So not much change there. What surprises me is the lack of change in this codex. They removed things, they nerfed things, and they kept things the same. Doesn't seem like they really improved a whole lot. Couple, minor points deductions, 5 points here, 5 points there, but I don't know if this is even really worthy of a codex, in my opinion, sometimes. It's hard. It's really hard to look at this codex and think it's worthy of a new one, because right there, so sum up the elites. Imgarl's gone, Doom gone, Vehicle to get your Zoanthropes close gone. Hiveguard went up by 5 points. Venomthropes, Zoanthropes, and Pyrovores went down 5 points, and they added a monstrous creature that eats things. So, what's your opinion? I'm interested. Leave a comment in the comment section down below what you think of the elite slot. Is it still bloated? Is it worth thinking about? Maybe, the question is, maybe it'll be cool to have a monstrous creature horde. Just giant amounts of monstrous creatures running through the field, eating stuff, dying quickly. But yeah, that's my review of the elite slot. So stay tuned for the next part, in which I will be covering the troops choices. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video, comment in the comment section down below, subscribe to my channel if you already haven't done so. It really does help a lot. Please watch the next one too. So till next time, this is Jay saying happy wargaming everyone, and happy painting.